Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, TheTelegramNews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Subscribe today at TheTelegramNews.com.
Check it out.
Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, and happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, Jennifer.
Well, thank you. And you're not going to believe who I found out in the hallway. I found the state of Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose is here in the building. So I said, hey, buddy, you want to chat? And you said, sure.
Let's talk about elections. Yeah, just wander in the hall without a hall pass.
It was so crazy. I mean, I don't know how you found us all the way down in Jackson, but we appreciate it.
Well, I love being here in Jackson. We're visiting this facility, and we're visiting a machine company next, and then have a lunch here in town, and then heading to Athens after that. So great day in the region.
Hey, I'm so happy that you came down to Southern Ohio. I mean, there's not a prettier area in Ohio this time of the year.
Oh, every time of the year, but no, especially with the fall colors. I love being back in Jackson, and always get such a warm welcome from everybody here.
Well, we try. We try our best. Well, welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you, and we're going to talk a little bit about elections, because we have a very important election coming up here, not only in the state of Ohio, but nationally as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So 15 days till Election Day, or as we used to say in the Army, 14 days and a wake-up. Right? I mean, it's right around the corner.
Gotcha.
Early voting is underway, and every county board of elections has early voting all the way up until the Monday before Election Day. So that's one easy way to cast your ballot.
100%.
You can visit our website, voteohio.gov, where you'll find the hours and the locations for early voting.
Okay.
It's at the county board of elections in every county. And we also have evening and weekend hours. Most states don't have that. We've got close to 200 hours of early voting in Ohio, so it makes us a clear national leader in making it really convenient. Again, we have Sunday afternoon early voting. Only 6 states in the whole country have that, and we're one of them. We've got Saturday early voting, so no good excuse not to take advantage of that.
100%.
Absentee voting is also still going on, and so if you've requested an absentee ballot, you need to get it mailed back to the Board of Elections right away. And if you haven't, there's still time to request it.
I was going to ask you that. Can we still do that?
Still time to request it. In fact, you should probably get it in pretty soon. The law says you can wait until the Saturday before Election Day, but that's a really bad idea, because it probably won't have time to get back and forth in the mail. So if you want to request an absentee ballot, now's really the time to do it. We mailed a request form to every registered voter in the state. So the easiest thing to do is just send that back in. It's got the self-addressed envelope all ready to go. But if you lost it, or the dog ate it, or whatever else, you can just go to our website, voteohio.gov. You can print your own form. Or if you don't even have a printer, you can make your own form with a plain piece of notebook paper. We just give you the instructions. As long as it's got all the right data on it, then you can mail that in. So we make that really easy to request an absentee ballot as well.
I'm just going to say right off the rip, if you do not vote in Ohio, I don't know what to tell you. There is not one excuse I can think of for not voting in Ohio.
We make it really easy. And then Election Day, of course, from 6:30 a.m. till 7:30 p.m., we've got close to 4,000 polling locations that open at 6:30 a.m. that morning. And think about this. Those voting locations on Election Day are staffed by 40,000 of our fellow Ohioans. 40,000, that's, again, back to my Army days. That's like 4 infantry divisions worth of poll workers. And we're still looking for people to sign up and join them to help do this important patriotic duty. Again, voteohio.gov is the place to sign up. So Early voting, absentee voting, election day, they're all secure. They're all convenient. Ohio does some really smart things to make it easy to vote and hard to cheat. So you're right. It's important to make your voice heard.
Yes.
But when you do, you can be confident that it's a trustworthy and an honest election as well. And that's what we all want.
And I'm glad you brought up that point, because a lot of folks, you hear this on the news, you hear voter fraud, you hear all of that. What are some of the things that Ohio does to make sure that our vote counts?
In many ways, we're setting the standard that the rest of the country wants to follow. It starts with even the way we organize elections. It's half Republicans and half Democrats. Everything's completely bipartisan. Even the building is bipartisan. You're like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Well, if you go to the Board of Elections, you'll see 2 locks on every door, and that corresponds with a Republican key and a Democratic key. It's like those old submarine movies from the 80s where it takes 2 keys to launch the torpedo. You've got to have both a Republican and a Democrat there to even walk in the door at the Board of Elections. So that's just part of it. We maintain accurate voter lists, probably the most important thing we do. And I tell our team that this is like hygiene. It's like brushing your teeth. We do it every day. We remove deceased voters from the voter rolls on a monthly basis. We make sure that only U.S. citizens can be registered to vote, of course, and we check the voter rolls to make sure of that. When people move out of state, we work to get them removed from the voter rolls as promptly as possible. Okay. It continues with the voting machines. Some of the biggest fallacies about election fraud or election rigging come from this idea that voting machines are connected to the internet.
Exactly.
It's 100% false. Voting machines are never connected to the internet. They're not capable of being connected to the internet. We don't buy voting machines that could be connected, and it would be a felony if you somehow figured out a way to connect a voting machine to the internet. But then that's not the final story either. We actually test them before each election. That's just got done at the boards of elections all over the state. We call it the logic and accuracy test. It means Republicans and Democrats test these machines. And even after that, the voting machine, that's how we tabulate the result on election night. We want to know the result on election night, and so that electronic tabulation gives us that. But that's not the final answer either. We go back 3 weeks later and we count the paper, because every ballot in Ohio is on dead tree, wet ink, hard copy piece of paper, and that allows us to do a post-election audit. I've ordered the boards of elections to do a post-election audit for every single election, and so that means just before Thanksgiving or so, you'll have Republicans and Democrats at your board of elections counting the paper and comparing it to the electronic result, and the two have to match. Historically, we've been over 99% accurate between the voting machines. Yeah, and in fact, the 2020 presidential election, 99.98% was the accuracy rate. So Ohioans know that it's easy to vote, but we also know that it's hard to cheat. And actually, here's one last thing. We take it seriously when somebody does try to get away with cheating. I mean, I have referred 630 individuals to law enforcement for breaking the law. Now, again, 630 out of 8 million registered voters is a small number, but we take it seriously. And so if you think you're going to get away with it in Ohio, you're not. We'll catch you, and you'll face justice for doing it.
Wow. And, that's so good. It's all so good to hear, because, you hear in movies and you see on the news, voter fraud, and you hear about that a lot. So it's nice to know. The internet thing I did not know about.
Absolutely. If I could make 1 million bumper stickers and put them on every car, it would say voting machines are never connected to the internet. We wouldn't even think of it. In fact, we call it the air gap. There's a strict air gap, meaning that the only thing the voting machine is connected to is the wall outlet to power it. There's no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, no LAN connection, no kind of internet connection could ever be tolerated in a voting machine.
Well, let me ask you this. Will that technology ever exist? Do you believe that people will vote at some time over the internet?
Maybe in our lifetime, but it's probably a long way off. And there's 2 reasons.
Sure.
One is you've got to have the competence, meaning the technological competence to do it right. And that's harder than people realize, because what you have to do is prove somebody is who they say they are.
Right.
You have to give them the opportunity to create an immutable document that's not going to change. And then you have to sever their identity from that document before you send it in, because you don't want the government tracking how people vote, right? I mean,
that would be a little creepy.
You need to have a secret. Well, yeah, you need to have a secret ballot. So maybe through blockchain technology and that kind of thing, that could exist. But the other problem is you can have the competence, but if you lack the confidence, the public confidence that it works right, then you can't do it. And so I would say that the public confidence in such a system would lag far behind, and that's why we wouldn't ever think of connecting voting machines to the internet or allowing, online voting or whatever else in Ohio, because people need to know and trust intuitively that their elections are honest. Here's what I tell my team. We need to do our job so well. We need to run elections so transparently and so honestly that on election night, even the loser knows they lost. Of course, the winner knows they won. They're going to go give a victory speech. We need to do it so well that the loser knows they lost and has no reason to question the results.
Makes perfect sense to me.
That's it.
And again, Ohio, we are killing it when it comes to elections. And as you said, there are so many different ways to be able to do so.
So don't sit it out.
No. Yeah. And, we have a very important election this time.
Governor's race, a U.S. Senate race, a Supreme Court race. A lot of people are talking about that. It makes a huge difference who serves on the Ohio Supreme Court. I know everybody's very excited about the Secretary of State's race as well. At least I know I am. I mean, it's the job that keeps the elections honest. And, there's a lot of local contests as well.
Yes.
So there's no reason not to. And here's a pro tip. I run into people all the time. We were knocking on doors in Franklin County over the weekend talking to voters. And every now and then you'll get somebody that'll say, well, you know what? I don't vote because I don't know enough. I haven't followed politics enough, and I don't want to be an uninformed voter. Well, okay. But here's the answer to that. Request an absentee ballot, because when you vote from your own kitchen table, you can cheat on the test.
Right.
Think
absolutely.
about it. You flip open your laptop, or you grab your smartphone, or my wife and I will sit there and discuss our choices together as a couple. And so 20 minutes, maybe the time it would take you to organize your sock drawer.
It's called Google.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you mail in that absentee ballot, you will have cast a very informed ballot because you took the time at your own kitchen table to think about it. And here's the other cool thing. Some people say, well, I don't know if I trust the mail. Well, you can track your ballot. When you order a package online, you track it so that you know when it's going to arrive on your front porch. Well, in Ohio, we have a system where you can track your ballot, not how you vote. Of course, that's a secret known only to you, but the fact that you voted and when it arrives at the Board of Elections, voteohio.gov/track. You can see when it arrives at your house. You can see when it arrives back at the Board of Elections, and you can be confident that your absentee ballot will be actually the first votes counted on election night are those absentee ballots. It's 7:31. We push the button.
They have them.
Exactly, yeah. Yes. So when you see results at 8:30, 8:45 on election night, those are those absentee votes and early votes that are the very first ones counted.
And I think I'm so glad you brought that point up, because I think there was a couple of elections ago that I actually did do the absentee thing, and I can't even remember why I did it, but it was probably the least stressful voting I've ever done because of that very thing. I sat down at the kitchen island, and I actually felt as if I wasn't being pressured to be in a hurry, and I read through the whole thing and got to check what I wanted, and just dropped it back off at the Board of Elections. They had a little box, and
if you,
it was great.
All the boards have a 24/7 drop box. They're under video surveillance. They're emptied every day by both a Republican and Democratic team, because everything follows the Noah's Ark rule, 2 by 2, and all of that. But the other cool thing about voting early or absentee is if you don't like all the mail and the flyers and the text messages and the calls from candidates, the smart candidates and the smart party organizations will actually take you off the contact list once you've already voted. And so if you don't want all the mail in your mailbox, vote early, vote absentee. And again, they don't want to waste their money sending you mailings and placing phone calls and all of that. So if you don't like all of that, then you vote early and they take you off the contact list for that election. You won't get bothered anymore.
Plus you save a tree along
the
way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, it's win-win for everyone.
That's it. So.
Well, very good. Is there anything else you would like to tell our viewers while you're here?
When you go to vote on election day, make sure to bring if you go to vote on November 8th, bring your state ID or driver's license. There's alternatives if you don't have it or whatever else, but also bring a smile. And the reason I say that is the men and women sitting behind the table at the polling location, they're our neighbors. half Republicans, half Democrats. Think about that. It seems like in Washington that Republicans
I
and
was going to
Democrats
say,
can't agree that today's Monday, but yeah.
That's a novel approach.
Every polling location you go to, it's half Republicans and half Democrats, and they're putting in a really long day to do this important patriotic service, so thank them.
Yeah.
Thank them for the hard work that they're putting in, and they're the ones that deliver free and fair elections, and that's what we've had historically, and that's exactly what we'll have on November 8th.
That's right, and it's super simple. You just have to bring your ID and make your choices.
That's it. No reason not to vote. And if you don't vote, you
100%.
can't complain.
Yes, that too.
There you go.
I mean, people still will. But.
Oh, sure.
Well, of course, Secretary of State Frank LaRose, thank you so much for stopping by today. We greatly appreciate it. And we appreciate you stopping by Jackson in general
It's
and our
always
Southern
great
Ohio
to be in
area.
Jackson. Yeah, thank you so much, Jennifer. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. And safe travels.
You bet.
All right. And Alan's over there. And thank you. You're so sweet. Y'all
All
are
right.
so sweet. Yep.
I'm going to go keep getting the work done.
Keep on,
Thank
do
you
it.
so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good elections. All right. Well, very good. And oh, look who just walked in the door. Our good friend Carman. The Carman is here.
Where the deals are great.
Woohoo!
Hey, I came at just the perfect time to see all the nice people.
You
visit
did.
this
Hey,
morning.
we listen. We're like walking in some serious stuff this morning.
I'm telling you.
We got the Secretary of State here and all kind of stuff.
Wow, nice.
Cool, huh?
Wow, I saw Alan last. Saw somebody said, "There's people here today."
Well, you always know it's someone important when that ginormous black SUV pulls in, right?
I saw that. I saw that out front, all cleaned up, really nice.
Is it the governor? Who is it?
Well, most of them, if you ever notice them, most of them are driving Suburbans.
Yes.
And the FBI and all that, and Tahoes. You ever watch the FBI?
Yep.
They always got they always got the Chevy Tahoes going.
Yes.
Crazy.
All the fancy stuff. We doing all right, Dylan? Okay.
Got a new guy there in the back, huh?
Yeah, so our intern Dylan is here running the show today. James is off.
Lucky guy for him.
I know.
He just having one of those days to relax and.
Yeah, I don't know what he's up to. I didn't ask because he works so hard that I don't figure he needs to tell me what it is he's doing today.
None of our business.
No, that's right. So lots of great things happened over the weekend. Our good friend Pete Wilson is out for a couple of days, so we didn't get to we're not talking about news today,
Right.
but boy, the Trunk or Treat was off the chain, hosted by the Chamber.
I did not see it, but I heard good things about it.
Oh, I have never seen so many children in my life. Like, Jamie and I set up, and it was supposed to start at 5:30. Well, so we, went about 4:45. Pulled into our spot, and there were already, people there. Like
Cool.
Kids were, they were raring to go. I know there was well over 1,000 children there. I've never seen. They were lined up clear back. There were two lines clear down to almost Michael's on that side,
Wow.
down to Broadway, and then down past the PNC Bank on Pearl.
No
that
kidding.
line, yeah, and then
Wow.
they rotated.
Wow. What time did that start yesterday?
It was Saturday, but
Saturday.
it started. Well, it was supposed to start at 5:30, I was told, but it started more like 5 to 7.
Yeah, 5 to 7.
There was. I wish I had gotten a picture, but it's kind of weird taking pictures of people's children without asking. But I'm going to tell you what. Jamie had to run down the alley to pick something up, and I just have to tell this one story, and then we'll get to
Oh, you're good.
Carmen.
You're good.
Jamie comes back and he is like crying, laughing, like literally crying, laughing. And he was like, there is a little girl dressed up and it is the funniest costume I have ever seen in my life. And I was like, and he was like, she's dressed like a little old lady. And I was like, okay, dude, I was telling you. They had a wig on her. So she was probably 3, 4 maybe. Because she was walking fine.
Right.
They had taken like plastic pipe and spray painted it with a walker, with the tennis balls and the whole 9 yards. She had on this wig and it looked like, it wasn't, but it looked like a bunch of cotton balls, just like an old lady wig.
Nice.
They had her like in the sweater and this old lady's skirt, and they even had like her butt like stuck up, like padded, and she had on slippers and pearls and glasses. It was. I can't even explain to you how cute it was. It was the funniest thing. And when she walked, she had like the whole butt thing going on.
They must have trained her well.
It was so good.
Or maybe she was. Maybe she's looking at her grandmother's cup. I want
to dress like Granny. But yeah, it was. Oh man, there were so many good costumes though, and I love the little kids though. That some of the kids are like, okay, and they come up and like I let them pick out their own candy, right? Because I'm just like, I don't know what you like, just grab one.
Yourself, yeah.
So, but then you get the ones that like mom and dad turn their back and they like walk up and they're like.
Scoop it all up.
I'm like, well, you just got 10, but okay, I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh my God. I was like the one when they bring the babies and trick or treating for babies.
There were several of those too.
Never could figure that one out.
I'm like, how about I give you something mushy?
Yeah, funny. Yeah, like
so the baby can eat it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said that a couple times. But no, it was a lot of fun.
I'm all for taking your kids, and you got to take them. You got to take them, but
sure,
babysitting for getting a bag for the baby is a little bit overboard.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Well, Jamie and I, so he was a burrito and I was a taco, and then we dressed up Marley, our dog, as a taco as well, and so she got lots of loved on by all the kids, so that was fun.
I think the Kiwanis part we got partaked in that, or helped out in that. That's really a great project, really.
I had no idea. I don't know where all of those people came from. It was insane.
It's the good thing about it, if you don't want to trick or treat at night, that's the perfect time because it's day and it's safe and
and I loved the thought that it's a street blocked off, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a big block party, but like so you don't have to worry about the kids crossing the street and
traffic
and I mean, to be honest with you, you know where the candy's coming from. It's local businesses and organizations and things that people that have to be accountable for things.
And that's what's really cool about it, I know the Kiwanis, they had their project. I mean, we had our people there, and it's great. I mean, it really is.
It is.
I was only
lots of candy.
I wish I could have snuck in there and got a couple pieces of candy.
I would have given you a piece of candy.
I'm too sugared up anyway.
You could tell, though, some of the parents were like, oh, you have Kit Kat. I'm like, here.
Upset. Parents are
I'm like, you've had to like literally endure this. I'm going to give you candy too. You deserve it.
I hate to say it, I'm a lover of candy.
That's right.
I bought a bag of candy the other day, just in case we had some kids come in, and get a little trick or treat snack here.
Hey, I was out at your place the other day, and Scott gave me some candy.
He's always got candy.
He gave me a Reese pumpkin.
Yeah, he's always
so sweet.
He is a entrepreneur of candy. He's always got something sweet. Cakes, candy, it doesn't make any difference. He's got something.
I had to laugh, though, because we had the brewery van there.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, 200 people probably were like, so... in there. I'm like,
what we got in there?
If they'd have let us, I would have. We'd have sold out real quick. All the parents were like, please tell me you have drinks in there.
Please let me have some. Let the kids have their adults, and we need an adult drink.
Yes, when you stand in line for an hour and a half to get candy, it's something.
Yeah, I bet those families are wore out after they walk through all that. Can you imagine all that standing and dropping each,
Oh, man.
That's got to be crazy.
Whew. I filled up. We had a tub that was probably it was huge. It was like that and that tall. And I think I filled it up 3 times.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That's like going down South Street, in Jackson. You go down South Street, those people get nailed.
Yes, they do.
That's all good. But certain
it's
places
expensive too.
Yeah, it is. You go. I bought a bag of candy. Just one little bag was $10.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Assortment of different things in it. So when and if you're on a big block, if you buy $40 or $50, it's amazing how you can go fly through that stuff like no time flat.
Absolutely.
And I know I've talked to some people.
Fun.
They say, well, once they run out of candy, they turn the light out and shut the door. Well, that's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're gonna, run and buy more real quick. It's not. So it is what it is, but it's a lot of fun. And
great time.
Love
great
seeing
time.
the creative costumes and all of that.
Grandson my oldest one, he had a cow. He had a cow costume, a regular cow. You couldn't see his head, big old cow. And then my other grandson, he was a clown.
Oh.
So I'm not sure what Reese was. I didn't get to see Reese yesterday, so I'm not sure what he dressed up as. But they come up with some really good costumes. Like you say,
for sure.
The old lady and all that stuff, and it's cool. I mean, you got Batman out there. You got all the Marvel players.
One of the funniest ones was this kid that was dressed up as Michael Myers.
Oh, yeah.
And he was working it. Like, he freaked Jamie and I completely out. Like, he walked up and you know how Michael Myers does the whole thing, like, with his head? That's like, because he doesn't talk or anything. And the kid, like, walked up and he was just, like, got up in my face and was like... And I was like, okay, dude, you're freaking me out. Just take whatever you want and go.
Took it to the next limit.
He had like his knife, and I'm like, I don't know if I like you very much.
But I tell you, one of the commercials out right now is one of my famous ones, or I like it, was out last year. The guy where the kids are running around and they got a bunch of saws in a car running.
Yeah.
And they said, let's take the car. Oh, no. Let's run in the barn with the saws. And the guy's back there at the mask, opens it up and gives a real silly, like.
He's like, you're idiots. No, let's hide behind the wall of chainsaws.
Yeah, it's safer there. That's a great commercial. They have that every Halloween. That's just one of my favorite ones.
It's so, because if you watch horror movies, that's exactly what they do.
Halloween is really anymore. It's more people putting stuff out, costume. My wife went out and bought, Amanda talked my wife into buying a 7-foot witch.
Nice.
Yeah, so we got a big 7-foot witch in front of our house. And we got 2 little skeleton guys, or a man and a woman skeleton guys my wife bought a couple years ago. It's funny, my grandson the first day ran out, he saw the witch and he kind of hesitated and then went around. Then he started going up to the steps and saw the 2 skeletons over there. He kind of hesitated there too a little bit.
That's hilarious.
But there's a lot of stuff out there. And my brother-in-law was telling me about somebody had one of those 9-foot skeletons, and somebody pulled up in front of their yard and stole it.
You're kidding?
Got out of a Chevy Tahoe, walked up to their house, and stole this 9-foot skeleton. Now
that's not cool.
No, that's not cool. I hope the bewitchers find that guy.
Yeah.
There's a woman that did it. Can you believe that? Stealing somebody's Halloween joint.
Get a life.
Yeah, really. That's nuts. Oh, well. But Halloween's a lot of fun for the kids and adults, and, it's getting kind of seasonalized. I mean, now you go into Walmart, it's not Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
It's Thanksgiving and Christmas stuff.
Sure.
You think about it, we're just a few weeks away from Thanksgiving.
You got to it's like, you think you have all of this time. So fall starts and then it's Halloween, and then you're like, you blink and it's Thanksgiving, and then you blink and it's Christmas, and you're like, wait, what just happened?
And the year's gone.
Yes.
That's crazy. You blink after Christmas, like, well, New Year's Eve, and bang.
That's it.
Then we got old boring January
I was
and
going to
February.
say January and February suck.
Oh, the worst months of the year.
Yep.
For us around here, because the weather just is so beautiful.
And there's no football.
Yeah. I was telling my son, IndyCar should have racing in January and February. You got something that you can watch.
Yeah, they can do it down south or whatever and not have to worry about weather.
I guess we got basketball, though, don't we? I forgot about basketball.
Well, yeah, because the NBA playoffs go for,
forever.
3 months.
Yeah, they just actually had their first game started up this week. So, we're in prime sports, football, basketball, playoffs for baseball. And, it's just all kinds of stuff going on.
That's right. All kind of stuff. And, hey, your Bengals did well. How about Joe?
The worst part, I did not get to watch much of the game yesterday.
I didn't get to watch it either.
We went and played golf yesterday. I haven't played golf for, a while, and we went and played golf. I said,
Well, because it was a perfect day to play golf.
God, it was beautiful. Oh, it was beautiful.
Jamie and I were in Athens and drove by one of the golf courses on one of the back roads,
Right.
and I mean, it was packed.
Oh, it was. I mean, just such a beautiful day, and other than lose about 4 or 5 golf balls, I mean, beautiful day.
Don't even care.
I don't care, man. We got done. We got done. We played out of town, and we decided to go to Roosters. I thought, well, we'll get to watch the last part of the game, which we did. We got to watch the last quarter, but I guess all the fireworks were all gone by then.
Yeah.
I guess Joe had a hell of a day yesterday.
Yes, he did.
And,
Our guy.
And unfortunately, our poor Cleveland Browns, they partaked in losing again.
We'll go out and harass Scott about that later.
I'm gonna go out and see him here shortly. And,
he hasn't heard the end of it.
no. But you know
Never will.
you know what the big game is coming up, don't you? This week,
What?
Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Are they playing?
Monday Night Football.
Is it Monday?
Yeah.
This week?
31st.
Really?
Yeah, Halloween night.
Okay.
So that should be spooky.
I guess so. So a week from today.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be spooky. It'll be spooky for the Browns.
What we're going to have a nice little friendly bet. We haven't had a friendly
I
bet.
know we haven't had a bet in a while.
Let's make a friendly bet.
All right. Do I get the spread?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
You're taking your brownies.
I'll have to. I can't let you bet against the Bengals.
Well, no, that would be bad. That would be bad. So a friendly lunch, the spread. The winner chooses where they go.
Okay.
So I'm in. Or
Deal.
Or this.
Oh, that's a fist and a handshake.
We're serious about this stuff. Serious.
I mean, y'all saw it right here
Yep,
on international
It's
TV.
going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yep.
Fact.
Yep.
Hey, I got
what the heck are you here for?
Well, I came here, always enjoy to come and talk about everything. And we're having the annual, I'm getting ready to say Christmas dinner, spaghetti dinner.
Is it the spaghetti dinner?
Coming up tonight.
It's tonight?
Tonight. We've been doing this, you know, I don't know how many years we've been doing it. I started when I was the president of Kiwanis. I'm thinking 10 years, somewhere in that ballpark area. So we've been doing this roughly ballpark about 10 years. But the difference is this year, this used to be one big fundraiser. We used to have auctions and split the pot and all that stuff. But this year we did something really good. We sold in our, what do you call them, the little platters on the dinner, or what do you call those sheets? How my mind's going.
Like tickets?
No. Anyway, all the sponsors, we got about 50 sponsors. They put us on a dinner sheet there.
Oh, like a placemat.
Yeah, thank you. You know, sometimes when you get older, you just can't think of things. Placemat. We got all our great advertisers hit put on this, so everything is pretty well. We don't have to have this stuff anymore, like raffles and all that stuff. So now you can just come have spaghetti at the Christ United Methodist Church. It starts tonight at 5 o'clock. It's over by the police station. It's $6 for spaghetti, either with meat sauce or not meat sauce, salad, a dessert, and a drink.
That's right.
$6.
$6.
And this meal it's made by Mike Gambino and Becky Gambino.
When your last name's Gambino, you can cook Italian food. I'm just saying.
That food is,
spaghetti.
I mean, it is the best spaghetti around.
It's so good.
You know, I am not lying to you. It
Yes.
is. And I love spaghetti.
Yes.
And there's some good businesses, and I'm not going to mention names, that have good spaghetti, but I think this is just a little tint over.
Oh, it's a Gambino spaghetti dinner.
It's good. And you get a good helping. You don't get just like a few little noodles and a little splash of, unless that's the way you want it. But anyway, 5 till 7, really good. Come on in, and it's well worth it. And you can actually order some to go. You can get it to go too. That's the nice thing about it. So if you come in and went for 3 or 4 members at home, you can do it that way, or you can call in and ask for Teresa Costello.
Okay.
And her number is 740-418-8153.
You know, and that's the thing too. of course, during the COVID madness, you all just did the spaghetti dinner, but did it kind of carry out like a drive-through kind of deal?
Now this year we're back
So
in business.
you're back in business.
We're back in business. Come in, sit,
dine in.
Yeah, dine in. We got some really nice. We'll have some music and everything going on there. So come in, have some fellowship, and see some nice people that you maybe haven't seen for a while. And we got big tables down there. You can sit all together, enjoy yourself, and you can't beat it. Like I say, it's a great meal for the price for $6. You can't beat it.
Absolutely, and they're in a restaurant in Jackson open on Mondays, so
I never thought about that.
You just go get spaghetti and you're safe.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but you're right. This is the perfect time to really go out to dinner, and it's between 5 and 7. You have to wait till real late or dark or whatever. So.
I had some guy. I was in the one of the local convenience store gas stations the other day, and it's right off the highway. And I walked in, and I could tell he was asking a question at the counter, and the guy goes, I don't know. It was like no offense, Dylan, a young kid,
right?
And he was asking him, and so he turned around to me. He said, "Do you live here?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Where can I eat in this town?" And I said, "On Monday," because it was a Monday. And I was like, and he said, "I just want something to go," because he had his family with him.
Right.
They were traveling to somewhere. And I was like, "Oh, you want fast food?" He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, I got you."
I got you on that.
No problem. Head straight down Main Street. There's anything you could possibly want. Other than that, if you want to sit down, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, if you think about it, we do have Bob Evans is open on Monday.
Yeah.
And then
there are restaurants, but it is kind of funny.
Some of the big main ones are closed on Mondays, which is kind of funny. But you're right. It's not.
It's like, dude, if you want to sit down and have a drink or whatever, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. There's not a lot going on out there.
No.
Yeah, for sure. Mostly with the drink. That's a fact.
It was funny. Jamie and I were traveling over the summer. We went down to Asheville and stopped somewhere on a Monday and was asking around. They were like, nothing's open around here on a Monday.
Yeah, it's just something.
It was just like we were just traveling down the highway. And I'm like, I think COVID just did that. Like,
must have.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you've been in the restaurant business for years and years. So,
yeah.
And, with not enough workers to work, so you had to take one day, you had to take off.
Basically what happened.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just haven't been able to recover from that yet.
And there's still a lot of people. I mean, you take Bob Evans, some of the other restaurants I've gone to, they're shorthanded.
Everybody's shorthanded.
It's this craziest thing.
It is wild.
There's things you go into, and they apologize, say, hey, we just, you got plenty of tables in there, but we just don't have enough waitresses or waiters or whatever.
But I'll tell you what, you'll be served tonight.
Yes, served tonight.
At the
Kiwanis
Spaghetti Dinner.
There. And the great thing about this is all the money we've raised for Jackson, for Kiwanis, all the money stays local. Jackson, Wellston, Oak Hill. We got this, when they graduate, they get the
scholarships.
Thank you. Boy, I am really having a bonehead day today. Scholarships. We give away scholarships. It's money.
We give money to kids.
Give money to kids.
You also give a lot of other things to kids.
Like in some of the schools, we got actually clothes. If a kid accidentally comes in, they fall down, their pants are really wet or anything like that,
yep.
and they hook up these little children with stuff like that. So,
yep, because kids are kids.
Yeah, kids are kids. They fall down or whatever. Also, there's a lot of good things. The flowers downtown. You see all the beautiful flowers. That's all done by the Kiwanis.
That's Kiwanis.
And they do a great job. That's a project we've been doing for a number of years too.
It is. And it's one of those little things that I could see where people would be judgy about that and be like, why are we spending money on that? It makes such a difference to the downtown. It makes it look alive and beautiful, and
really
it makes you proud to be from here.
It's kind of funny. You never know that until you drive to other towns, and you see some towns that have really things going on like that too. And there's some towns that don't. And you think, wow, man, just those little things just make the town look more friendly.
Such a difference.
Oh, it does. It just kind of dresses up your downtown area.
Yep.
And, Judy Wiggins is one that really has worked her butt off on that over the years.
Yep.
And has done a great job. And, last year we had our biggest fundraising year last year, and our biggest year. Mike Koslow is our president. And he did a great job, like he always does. We just had our election of new officers last month.
You did?
So actually, this month. Really, I take that back. This month. I might have a hard time today. They might not want
You
me
need to go
come
back to bed.
I think so. Gosh, I was going to get them to go exercise this morning. I said I wasn't even motivated for that today. I said, 7 o'clock, go motivate. I think I'm going to sleep in this morning.
I'm good.
I played golf yesterday. But no, all kidding aside, it's a great club. And like I say, all the money stays local here in town. And we have Read Around the World. There's a lot of good things that's going on. And if you want to join, please get a hold of me.
Sure.
I'll get you hooked up. We meet once a month, and it's not required that you have to go to the meeting. Love to have you.
Yeah.
But, we got all kinds of things going on. We just hope you show up. And like the candy yesterday, we had some of the members working on that. So there's a lot of good things. We've got a golf outing we're working on, so we need help with that. Just all kinds of stuff.
And all of these local organizations, whether it be, we had our friends from the Lions Club in the other day, and they had their veal sale, and, the Rotary and Kiwanis, and all of these different organizations all have kind of their focus in which they're their focus of help.
Right.
Lions are about eyesight and things like that. So please support them, because these are just people being volunteers trying to do good for the community. And especially, when you're helping kids, that's a big deal.
Well, scholarships and just all kinds of things. We also sponsor a lot of stuff, You
guys do the 4th of July
Yeah, the 4th of July for the kids. That's a big project. And we pay for all the balloons and all that stuff, the blow up things. And it's just a great thing to help the community and the kids, as far as that is.
That's right.
And like I say, Read Around the World. They do down at the library once a year. Bring kids in, read them, hook them up with some books. So that's all cool. So
that's very cool.
And like I said, we got and the 5K. The 5K is sponsored by the Kiwanis now in Jackson.
The Apple Festival one.
Apple Festival 5K. Yeah. Kurt Wiggins and Norm Gilliam do a great job on that. So that's a great little project. A lot of people come in. I think they must have had 100 runners in.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. That's a bunch.
Were you running?
No, I was directing.
Oh.
I'm going from here to there.
I was probably sleeping.
I think we did that. I think it was 9 o'clock. They might have took off a little earlier than that. I can't remember. I was probably in a daze, probably still sleeping in the corner.
Turn left.
Turn left.
Here. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, while you're here, what the heck do you have going on at the car lot?
We got cars, we got trucks, we got vans, SUVs. We got 60 to 70 vehicles down there. I bumped my head, went out, bought a bunch of stuff. We got Toyotas, we got Hondas, we got GM, we got Ford, we got Dodge, we got anything from, we got that car from, we don't have the $70,000 cars or the $50,000 cars.
I mean, if someone wanted you to find them one, you could.
I would do it. I would do it. Don't get me wrong. I bought a guy a Cadillac, one time it was $50,000. He kept asking me. He said, I kept asking about this and that. He says, "Are you a little nervous on that?" I said, "Well, to be honest with you, I don't buy too many $50,000 vehicles.
It's not normally my jam, but
I said, it's not my, but I will." And I get him hooked up with a beautiful Cadillac and a great customer, yeah, $50,000 is a lot of money anymore. Whew.
Yeah.
It makes me pucker.
Yeah. I can imagine. But you and I don't know how this is because, cars have been at a shortage.
Yeah.
Since all the COVID and the chip plant burned down and all of that stuff, which I think we're finally starting to kind of this much catch up.
I think they are. I think it's catching up. There's still a shortage of certain vehicles out there. Our vehicles are $20,000, $15,000, $10,000, $5,000. We got them all. And believe it or not, I actually got a $5,000 truck.
So that's what I was going to say. I don't know where you're finding all these pickup trucks that you have on the lot.
The truck, my $5,000 truck, which I kind of laugh about. It's a little local truck we trade for here. It's $49.95, and
Does it run?
Oh, it runs good. It really is. It runs really good.
See?
Actually, it's a good truck. Got good tires all the way around it, and 2 wheels of driving. So, and it's a local trade-in. So
clear glass. It's good.
Yeah, it's all good. And, it's got little dings and dents and things like that. But we throw that in at no extra charge.
That's right. We will not hold,
We're not going to hold that on.
No.
But, we got, like I said, we got a bunch of trucks. We got about 20 trucks in stock.
You do. I mean, like I was looking when we dropped off. Oh, by the way, the keys are under the van seat.
Okay. If it's still there.
If it's still there. But we had to drop the van off.
For service.
Yeah.
But now we got a lot of nice trucks, Chevy, Fords, Dodges, got some Nissans, excuse me. I got some small trucks, got crew cabs, extended cabs. I got some Chevrolet Colorados. I got a really nice GMC Canyon, Ford Ranger, full-size pickups. We got Dodges. I got a really nice crew cab Dodge, crew cab Fords. So four-wheelers are driving. So we got a nice selection of trucks. One 3/4 ton truck, which are hard to find.
Yeah.
Nice Chevy.
Big.
3/4 tons. You got to have those to pull.
Yeah.
So, but SUVs, we got about 20 SUVs in stock. Toyotas, Nissans, Chevrolets, Fords. I said we got a great selection.
You do, and so I was noticing that, and I couldn't believe the variety. So, like, if you are looking for a truck, there's a truck that maybe $10,000. Well, you have a $5,000 truck, but maybe one that's $10,000, maybe one that's $25,000. Like whatever truck you're looking for, you have like such a variety.
And that's a good thing about it. I mean, like I said, we do have some are 25 and down. But they're affordable, and we got great on the spot bank finance. We deal with OVB, Vinton County Bank, Atomic Credit Union, and if you got bad credit, no credit, we have a couple places we can shop. But you got to have cash. You can't come in and wing and a prayer. Say, hey, I'm looking for a car. My credit score is about 400. How much money you got? None. Can't help you.
Yeah. You got to have some cash to put down.
Got to have some cash, and more than a couple $100. You got to have to get some real cash. If your credit's really hurting a little bit, at least come in with a couple $1,000 down. We could probably help you out. Please.
Yeah, and you know what I love about that program that you have is, and we've talked about this, but you got to start somewhere rebuilding your credit.
Yeah, and people go through divorces
all the time, medical bills, like
it's just all kind of things. Lose your job, get reestablished. Hey,
all kind of stuff.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has to reestablish.
But if you have some money to put down, and you go through this alternative financing situation, with you guys. Pay good for a year. Pay it up. That's rebuilding your credit, and then it's possible that then you can refinance at a lower rate.
Exactly.
Plus, you're building your credit all along the way as well.
It's not like a buy here, pay here. So
because they don't report to credit.
Yeah, buy here, pay here doesn't. Now we do. This company does report to the credit bureau, so you can get your credit reestablished. So that's the cool thing. And actually, the interest rates and everything, and all the banks and credit unions are really good right now. So if you're looking to buy a car, you've heard of the interest going up. It's still not that bad.
Right.
So it's still affordable. That's the good thing. They haven't got really stupid. So you can still get good rates on good used cars. You can finance some cars up to over 66 months, some of them up to 84 months. So, I mean, just depending on where you're trying to get your payment up to. So,
absolutely.
And everybody's trying to get a payment they can afford.
Yep.
Good thing about buying a good used car is, you don't have to finance it forever. You can pay it off, and everybody likes to trade every 2 to 3 years. So.
Except for me, that you hate me. He hates me because I drive cars for like 15 years.
Well, I got
He's like, you're my nightmare.
I got families I got family members that do that. They don't trade it all until they think, oh, Mark, that car finally let go. I need to get something fast.
And then I'm like, hey, Carman, can you find me a car? Yeah. I found you one. No, I don't like that radio. Okay, I found you one. I don't like that seat color.
I do remember that. Picky.
Hey, when you got to drive it for like 15 years, you better like it, right?
You better like what you buy. But, that's the beautiful thing about from buying for us. If we don't have exactly what you're looking for, we can generally find that stuff for you.
That's right.
That's the nice thing about it. I mean, I deal with a lot of different auctions. A lot of cars, people worried about auctions. But listen, a lot of new car dealers don't deal in older stuff. They
Correct.
take it to the sale. There's nothing wrong with these cars. They just don't deal with them, so they just flip them and turn them. That's all.
Because they just don't have the space on their lot to put,
Exactly.
they're new car dealers, and that's what they do.
They deal
so.
newer stuff. They deal, like 21s, 22s, 20s, 19s, things like that.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of good cars. And the other good thing we do Carfaxes on every car. So when you go on the internet for us at carmansusedcars.com, we do have a Carfax. You can run the Carfax.
And that'll tell you any kind of if it's been in an accident or
it's had a blemish or whatever.
Yeah.
No, we don't deal in salvage cars. Yes, some of our cars have been in small minor accidents, which that's no big deal. But you can check the Carfax. It'll tell you exactly where the damage is at or what's been done. So that's a good thing. When you buy a car today, you can buy with confidence. That's a good thing about it.
And even if back to the auction situation, like you said, these auctions have reputations to hold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they actually rate the cars, and they tell you this car is it an ABC or is it a 1, 2, 3 or how do they
1 through 5? Now,
so they rate them.
Yeah, they rate them
and they have to be honest about it.
Well, what they do, they take pictures of it. If it's got some work done to it. 5 is being the all-time best. I mean, no damage to it, non-smoker, good clean. And a lot of times they'll put on there smokers. This was a smoke-in car, or it's anything from a 3 up is usually generally pretty good. Anything under 3 is generally a little edgy.
Yeah.
Because it's got more miles on it. Maybe it's had some damage on it. You know what I mean? It's or a smoker. Just a lot of things in there.
But they'll tell you. So like when you go to buy a vehicle, you can kind of buy it there, even at the auction with confidence.
And when I buy them, also I get what they call a post-sale inspection, which I didn't used to have. You pay $100 and some odd dollars, about $100 or better. And they check it over. They check it over as far as the frame. They make sure the air conditioning and everything works in it. Like one time I bought a very brand new Ford Explorer. Believe it or not, the heated seats didn't work in it. And they kicked it for me for the heated seats not working in it.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, now some of them depend on what year they are. Some of the post-sale inspections. So, when you buy a car generally at the auction, on some of them, they're really, really good.
Yeah. So again, they have a reputation to maintain, and
and the other thing, a lot of the dealers that sell a lot of cars, they want to keep a good reputation. So if they have anything announcements on it, they generally announce it. So if they say it's red light as is, and it's generally a car with 200,000 miles on it, well, you just buyer beware. That's just the way it works.
It's what it is.
Just like with the $5,000 truck, it's got 200,000 miles on it, and it's buyer beware.
Yeah.
It's a good truck, but it's still buyer beware. And you can understand that. That's just normal. So
normal stuff.
Normal stuff. But we're open. We're still keeping our hours 9 till 6, Monday through Friday, and Saturday from 9 till 4. And like I said, we got everything on carmansusedcars.com.
Great website.
And you can actually go on there, fill out a credit application, send it in. We can get you okayed. We've had a lot of people from out of state, even in town, fill out the credit application on site. We send it into the bank.
Sure.
And get you hooked up, and it's like easy 1, 2, 3. Come in and
it's so cool.
Drive and enjoy. That's what it's all about.
And if you're in a hurry or whatever, call them, say, hey, I'm coming in. I would love to see this vehicle.
Yep.
You guys will have it pulled around for them. And
have a dealer tag ready for you.
Waiting, and, it's full service there. And so let's talk about your service department for a minute.
And the other thing is we service what we sell. That's the good thing. We buy a car, we bring it, change the oil, brakes, and check everything, make sure everything is as good as possible. We also do our local service Monday through Friday from 9 till 5. We oil changes, brake jobs, a little bit of everything in the back. Transmissions, we replace transmissions. We don't rebuild them or anything like that, but we do a lot of stuff like that in the back.
It's like funny. I brought out our delivery van for the brewery. Light came on and said license plate light's out, and I'm like, oh. So I called you, like, bring it on out. We'll take a look at it. And then so you and I were talking and talking. And we're like, what are they doing back there?
And they're like, replace a light bulb.
They're like, Yeah, there's something else going on.
Nothing's
we've got
ever simple.
And I was like, but the guys have the van today, and they're going to try to trace down the lack of. There's no power to the license plate light, so
evidently is
some wire somewhere is probably broken or something.
Some weird.
Who knows?
It's just like the other day we sold
figure it out.
We sold a Jeep, real nice Jeep Laredo the other day, and alternator went bad. So we put the alternator and everything. Now, these new cars are getting so fickle on what they're doing. It possibly could have burnt the computer up in the Jeep because it goes through the computer. So we had to send it out. That's something we can't do. We had to send it out to get it checked. Everything is getting so complicated, man. I'm telling you. Like we sell extended warranties for our cars. I tell you what, I highly recommend extended warranties and the gap insurance. Pay a lot of money for a car, and cars depreciate generally quicker than what you pay on them. Yep. So if you happen to total it, which we had a customer total their car the other day, they had a Jeep and unfortunately had a bad car accident. Somebody pulled out from them, but they got gap insurance. Hopefully that'll help.
That's a big deal too.
Yeah, that is. So there's a lot of good products we sell, and I highly recommend that. Whether you buy a car from me or somebody else, extended warranties really help you out because everything's so expensive. And you go in the service departments, it's just ridiculous.
Well, it's just gotten to the point where
you can't work on them yourself.
They don't want you to.
No.
So
no, you got to take them to the shop. There's some things we can do. There's some things we can't do. We have to take to the shop.
And that's why these dealerships now, you have to be certified to be a mechanic at these dealerships, and you have to go through, that particular company's certification programs and all of that because they're very specific.
Like electric cars. I mean, these electric cars are starting to come out. You got to know what you're doing on that.
I'd say you could really mess one of those up.
You could really accidentally touch something and get fried.
Yeah.
Scary
Kind of got to know what you're doing there. So.
That's for sure. That is for sure. But cars are, like I say, they're great. I mean, they're getting great gas mileage. They're lasting longer today.
They're safer.
I mean, really. I mean, with airbags and all the stuff and the analog brakes and all the technology. So, we're seeing cars now with 200,000 miles or more. That's the crazy part. And I got a feeling as we get longer with the car shortages, there's going to be a real car shortage because there are not going to be very many used cars. They haven't hardly built any cars the last couple of years or so.
Right.
That's what's really spooky.
All still sitting around waiting on chips to come in.
Chips. Well, they're building that big plant up in Columbus.
I know.
But that's going to take some time.
Yes, it'll be a few years too.
That's for sure.
So I saw, we were talking about safety, and Jamie thinks I'm insane, but I've been saying this forever. A lot of the new cars now, and I think this should be mandatory for all vehicles. I don't care how cheap it is. At the least, every vehicle should have to have a backup sensor on it.
A backup camera?
I think, sensor at least, to the least. I think that all cars should have to have backup sensors and backup cameras, but that's just my opinion. But I have also said, why do cars not have front sensors?
Well, that's a good question.
And so I saw that on the news this morning, and they had a lady on there that, it's a tragic story. She had, unfortunately, they say that most young children that are hit by vehicles or whatever, it happens in their driveway in a parking lot.
Oh, I agree with that.
And this lady, they were interviewing her. She had a great big, huge, like Suburban or Tahoe or something. Kid got out to get the mail. Same as he did every day. He always went behind the car. For some reason, he went in front of the car, and she didn't see him and ran over her own child and killed him. And so I've always said that. And I'm like, see, that child would be, alive today had there been front sensors. So they had actually like legislators, and they were putting them in like these big, tall, like Tahoes, things like that.
Right.
They had 15 kids sit on the ground in front of that vehicle, like sitting Indian style, one in front of each other.
Right.
And 15 out, you still couldn't see the kids sitting there on the ground. So the legislator, and I don't know who he was like, oh, yeah, this is a thing. He's like, I had no idea. So I've always said that. Like, why aren't there just sensors all around a car?
That's a good question. I know they are in the back for backup.
But why not
You got
front?
the backup camera. You know why? It's just probably like anything, cost, technology.
I guess, but good God, I mean, how hard can that be?
Well, you think about cars. SUVs have got humongous.
Yes, and trying to
big.
parallel park even, like all of this stuff.
It's just amazing. I don't know. That's something I'd say probably will come on. I know
Can we make a call?
I don't know who you'd call. Ralph Nader?
Can we call?
He's dead. Is he still alive? I don't know.
We could call the backup sensor, front sensor plant.
I would not be surprised if they're not working on that now.
Well, they're trying to now after, I guess, they've kind of proposed some bills in Congress to try to get the car companies to have to put the sensors all the way around, and I think that's a good idea.
Well, I don't think it's bad. It's just like backing up.
It's not gonna
sometimes
hurt.
you back up, you hear your car going ding, 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 or when you get closer to hitting something. I don't know if that has anything to do with any kids or anything in the background, as far as if that picks that up or not. Of course, I got a lot of parents now are asking about, hey, this car or SUV or whatever we're looking at, does it have a backup camera?
I'm telling you, I couldn't drive my car without a backup camera. I'm so used to it now, I can't drive anything else.
Well, it's funny. I get in with, of course, my car doesn't have a backup camera, but when I do get into one, it feels weird looking into one, trying to back one up.
See, that's what Jamie, when he drives my car, he's all the time, and I'm like, just look right there. It's there.
But it's hard to do when you drive one that doesn't have one, and you're always
I guess it's what you're used to.
That's exactly right. But technology, we're talking, 5 to 10 more years down the road, it would be unbelievable what cars will be.
Yeah, I think so. I think they'll continue to be safer. And
the 50 years I've been in it, it's just amazing where it has gone as far as cars safer, better gas mileage, lasting longer. I mean, it's just amazing.
You're right.
And the cost of them, of course, is, I always laugh. My dad one time has said, we'll never sell cars when they hit $10,000. And cars hit $10,000. Shoot, we sold them just as fast as we got the $5,000 cars, the brand new cars in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to believe you could buy a brand new car $2,000 to $5,000. Now you can't even find a car for $2,000.
That was a few years ago. Yeah.
Just a couple.
Well, very good. Well, Carmen, we're up on time, but let's go over the Kiwanis
Spaghetti Dinner tonight, 5 till 7. It's at Christ United Methodist Church. It's over there by the police station. It's $6, and it includes spaghetti, dessert, a salad, and a drink. And it's open 5 to 7. You can get them to go. You can walk in and say, hey, this order's to go. I need like whatever. Or you can sit there and eat. We got nice places to eat and have some fellowship and all that good stuff.
Right.
And it's just very simple and very easy.
And it's all for a great cause.
And it's all for a great cause, and it's $6.
Yep. Can't beat that.
And like I say, you can't beat a deal like that.
If you want 2, it's 12.
Yeah. Well, if you want to buy, get 2 of them. And if you want to give a donation, heck, we'll take donations.
That's right.
That's all.
Won't pass that up either. So.
I will be there tonight as a server.
Oh,
so if I
make
dump
him
a
serve
plate,
you.
If I dump a plate of spaghetti on you, I'll blame it on Jennifer.
Okay, it's all my fault. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
I appreciate it.
Get out, support the Kiwanis Club tonight, and if you're looking for a vehicle, see this guy.
Stop and see us.
That's
Carman
right.
Shoes Cars and Trucks, right out there, State Route 93, and check us out at carmanshoescars.com.
You got it. All right, well, have a great day, buddy.
Thanks, you too.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dylan, for pushing all the right buttons. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.